The most formative years of our lives. High school. The experience can be a roller coaster ride of trying to find a way to express our self identity. As a matter of fact, it could even be hard to figure out just what that identity is in the first place. So, what happens when you find yourself, but that identity you find just happens to be a secret? We're going to find out when we take a look at the artwork behind Jim Rugg's The Plain Janes.
Hi, this is E.S. Glenn, and you're watching Comics and Comics. I'm taking a look at a comic called The Plain Janes, drawn by Jim Rugg and written by Cecil Castellucci. Jim's artwork reminds me a lot of manga, and there's something very special about this layout in that it seems to be the slice of a larger comic, as if it were cut out and zoomed in upon, which I find quite interesting because the comic seems to be a slice of life. An extraordinary life, yes, but a slice of life nonetheless. What Jim does well, and what I really notice when I look at this book, are facial expressions. His eyes are larger than life, much like manga or anime. But there's something about his eyes that are different than the typical Japanese animation or anime-influenced work, and that is that there seems to be a sense of life behind each expression. There seems to be a real person, not just an expression for expression's sake. There seems to be a mind behind the eyes. The characters are alive. They are moving. The expressions aren't there to carry the story along. I believe the story is carried along by the characters, and the characters just so happen to make expressions captured by Jim. As you can see, the pages are very, very much saturated with faces and gesture. You could read this story without reading the words, and here we see one of my favorite panels, the main character with this face paint. It's a strong panel, but look at the panel right beneath it, even though I passed the page. But the panel beneath it shows just the range of facial expressions that Jim is capable of projecting onto his characters. Here we see one such facial expression in the police officer. And not to give away too much of the story, there are a range of feelings that the main characters feel that aren't typical of your average slice of life high school story. There's levels of friendship that you don't see every day that reflect real life, and these nuances in relationships are also, again, reflected in these amazing facial expressions. And in Jim's work, at least here in this book, it's the eyes that tell the story. It's the eyes that are the window to the characters' thoughts and motivations. And again, these beautiful panel layouts that I was taken aback by at first, to see that the margins bled all the way off the page. But the more I read, the more I felt this sense of being thrust into a slice of something bigger, a micro vision of something much larger. And here at the end of the book is what seems to be a backup comic. I'm not sure what these are, and I wasn't very interested in reading them, but this edition just really made me happy when I got it because the paper stock is so soft and The size of the book is definitely my favorite size. It's pocket sized, and I love how the edges are fading there. And this little touch on the cover of photograph, it's just makes for a very enjoyable read.